Hi everyone, my name is Timothy Roberts. I am a guest saxophonist with the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, and I'm professor of saxophone at Shenandoah Conservatory in Winchester, Virginia. I'm here today to help you with the upcoming TMEA All-State Band Audition cycle for 2024. This year, they're once again using the Southern edition of the 48 Famous Studies by W. Fairling. This year's etudes are number 26, number 23, and number 40, so we're going to help you with those. I graduated from J.J. Pierce High School in Richardson about 40 years ago, and back then we still used the same etude book, the Fairling book. So the etude numbers were different back then, but I hope I can help you with them this year. There's several editions of this Fairling book. You might also want to know about the Hal Leonard edition by Nobuo Usagawa, and there's a Carl Fischer edition that is edited by John Walker. Both of those editions come with piano accompaniments. So if you after you prepare these etudes for your all-state audition, if you like them, you can buy one of those editions and play these etudes with piano accompaniment, and they work really nice in a recital format for performance. So let's take a few minutes. We're going to play all three of these, and after each etude, we will talk about some tips that you can use to help you improve your performance of number 26, 23, and 40. Okay, so let's talk about some practice strategies for this number 26. Of the three etudes that you've got to work up, this by far is the most difficult one. I'd imagine that 60 or 70% of your practice time for all three of these is going to be spent on number 26. And then within number 26, probably 80% of your time is going to be spent on bars 3 and 4 and bars 7 and 8. So let's start with those four particular bars, and I'll give you some tips on how you can get those cleaned up. Bars 3 and 4, separate the top notes from the bottom notes. So practice it first. And memorize that, and then go back into the top notes. Okay? Take each of the four notes individually, group them into fours, and that would give you 6 groups of 4 notes. Take each group of 4, play them forwards and backwards, and change the rhythms around on them. And do that for all 6 of those. Go back and then jump around between the 6 different figures and be able to play them in different rhythms and backwards. Backwards is the key to getting those licks clean. Finally, memorize. Be able to memorize the whole thing. Remember that if you play something by memory, you can't make any technical mistakes. You can have a memory slip, but if it's really truly memorized, that keeps you from making any kind of a technical mistake when you get into that audition room. As far as bars 7 and 8, this will help you, I think. In bar 7, keep the F key down through the whole bar. Watch my right hand if you can see it on the video. Okay, there's no need for you to ever lift the F, and that will help. Make that bar easier. You're going to do the same thing on bars 7 and 8 that you did in 3 and 4. Play the bottom note melody. Do that in the next bar, then go back and play the top notes, then take groups of 4 notes at a time, twist the rhythms around, play them forwards, play them backwards, and then again memorize bars 7 and 8. 7 and 8 will be a little bit easier to memorize than 3 and 4 because there's more of a pattern in there, but that will help you clean up 7 and 8. As far as breathing in this etude, I'd recommend that you try to do this in just 3 breaths. Obviously, you can do one at the end of the second line. You can do a third one at the after the first note of the 4th line, and then you could do your final breath after the first note of the 5th line. If you get to the end and you're running short of air to finish with that big crescendo at the end, then you could add a final breath there 2 bars from the end after you hit the low D on that descending tongued passage. Okay, but try to do 3 if you can, only 3 breaths. Don't forget that TMEA is recommending, has on its errata sheet, that the 4th line first bar, the second C natural, is actually a B flat. I think really harmonically, the bar that appears right above that, the first bar of the 3rd line, and the bar that note is in, it's questionable whether that really is a B flat, but go ahead and do it. The judges are going to be listening for it, and you want to make sure you play that as a B flat because that is the instructions to do. And then for the first bar of the last line, consider double tonguing that descending passage. You want to keep depending on the tempo that you choose, especially if you choose to do 120, you could get a little tongue-tied trying to single tongue that lick going down. I would recommend double tonguing it, or maybe single tonguing the first 4 notes and then switching to a double tongue. Remember, it's always hard to double tongue when you're up in the palm keys of the horn. So yeah, double tongue as much of that as you can. I think it will help you keep your tempo going. That should be it for 26. Let's play 23 and see how that goes. Okay, so let's try number 23. I think the most important thing on 23 is the dynamic markings. Make sure that you do all these dynamics exactly the way that they're written. These are different. If you have the Leduc version that Marcel Mule edited, the dynamics in that one are totally different. So make sure that the judges know that you understand the difference in these dynamics. Particularly in that 3rd bar, you've got a crescendo on 3 notes. You've got a crescendo and a decrescendo that are all within that bar. So you want to make sure that you start that bar and finish it at the same dynamic, and that all these crescendos and decrescendos happen exactly where they fall on the notes, because that's what the judges will be looking for in your playing. In the 3rd bar of the 2nd line, don't get too hung up on the trill. You can probably just trill it a couple times. times, 3 times, but you don't need to worry about playing it really fast. You want it to sound musical and not necessarily technical, okay? There are several high C sharps in this etude. Make sure you cover C sharps with the right hand when the pitch goes up. There's 2 especially important ones in the 3rd line, the 4th bar, and then the last bar, because those C sharps come at the end of a diminuendo, so they're going to be especially sharp. So you can either use 2 fingers or 3 fingers on your right hand, depending on the horn you're playing, to bring the pitch down on the C sharps. 16th notes of the last line, you might want to push and pull the time just a little bit. Show some musicianship as the line travels back and forth. You still want to keep your metronome going and you want the tempo steady, but you know, you can do something with the line here. And so on. That would add some musicianship to it. Okay, that's 23. Just use a lot of vibrato and show them what you've got with your sweet sound and musicianship on this one. Now we will play number 40. Okay, so let's talk about number 40. The main thing to consider on number 40 is the accidentals. Don't miss any accidentals. The students that make the top band at TMEA are not going to have any wrong notes on this, so make sure that you understand every sharp and double sharp in this etude, and that you get everything correct with accidentals. I'd add a little spunk to especially the first few lines as you get started. Maybe putting a little bit of a rhythmic pulse on the downbeats. Like that, and you can do that for 2 or 3 lines, at least until you get the character started on this etude. You've got a great opportunity, 3rd line from the bottom on that pianissimo. So you're coming out of the forte, you hit it a pianissimo, really make that extreme. The bar before that is a forte, and then you drop down to a G sharp with a pianissimo. So really make the most of that, and then bring it back up to a forte where you started the lick. 2 bars later, goes back to the same forte that you had the line above. So really make a difference in that. If you're able to make a huge difference on that, the judges are going to love it. And then on the last note, put a lot of ringing vibrato on the end and fade it into kind of a niente at the end. Okay, the judges will really like that musicianship on that also. And let's talk a little bit about thinking outside of the music itself. When you enter the audition room, remember why you are there in the first place. Be grateful for the fact that you've got the talent and the ability to audition for the best band in Texas. Very few students have gotten as far as you have, and it's important to realize that you need to be truly grateful for being in the room, doing what you love to do. If you're able to be grateful, then you're not going to be nervous. If you think about it, you can't be grateful and nervous at the same time. All right? I think that's important advice. It's something that I tell all my students at Shenandoah. It'll help you with any challenge you have in your life, whether it's auditioning for the All-State Band in high school or something much larger later on as a professional musician. Okay, I hope this video has really helped you. Email me if you've got any additional questions. You can reach me at my website, www.timothy-roberts.com. Send me an email. I respond to every email that I get. I'd love to hear your comments on the video or any questions about this music, and let me know how it goes for you after the audition. Okay? Good luck, and I hope this helps.